Joining us now on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline is the head basketball coach of the Creighton Blue Jays, Greg McDermott, the pride of Cascade High School, the Cougar basketball program in Iowa. Greg, welcome to the show.
Happy to join you guys.
Did you think I was going to bust out a Cascade High School reference at any point?
You surprised me with that one. That's a pretty good get.
Okay, now I heard through the grapevine from our good friend Tyler Haas, who played in the World University Games with your son Doug, that they had plans to throw this epic party in Provo that may or may not have featured Red Bull. Are you aware of this debauchery, Coach?
Usually on those types of things, I'm on a need-to-know basis, and obviously that was one of the things I didn't need to know.
This is a concerned parent talking to another parent.
I'm sure they had a good time. I know Doug really enjoyed getting to know Tyler, and they had that was an unbelievable experience. Doug was fortunate enough to play on the U19 team and then on the World University team, and just an incredible experience to wear that USA jersey.
I want to know, how much Chicago Bulls gear do you own right now?
Well, I've got some. It's mostly hand-me-downs. I don't think I get anything original. I think it's stuff that he's tired of. But it's been fun. It's been fun as a parent, and to watch his development and watch him kind of meander his way through the NBA life and try to adjust to it. It's a different world, obviously, but he's certainly settled in better in his second season.
You're living that life as a parent, watching him play in the NBA. And, oh, by the way, you're the head basketball coach of a Division I school that is playing in the quarterfinals of the NIT against BYU. You lost 5 of the last 7 games heading into postseason play, but then had solid wins over Alabama, and it just kind of dismantled Wagner on Saturday. What has changed for your team in the past couple of wins?
Well, part of the end of the season struggles with us is who we played and where we played them. We played at Providence, we played at Xavier, and then we opened with Seton Hall in the conference tournament.
Good grief.
Who was playing as well as anybody at that time. So, and we had competitive games. We were tied with Seton Hall late in the game in New York City. We lost in the last 3 minutes at Providence, and was a one-possession game at Xavier with about a minute and a half left. So, we've played some decent basketball where we didn't come out on the winning end, and we're a little bit beat up right now. Isaiah Zierden, our starting off guard, has missed the last couple of games with a season-ending shoulder injury. So we're not at full strength, but the guys have competed in this. The NIT's kind of given us a second life, and we're playing loose and free and easy, and making some shots, and obviously it helps to play at home in this tournament, as you guys know.
For those that may not necessarily be up to speed on all things Creighton Blue Jays, how would you describe the makeup and the style of your team?
Well, we like to play fast offensively, and our guys have a ton of freedom on the offensive end, and we want to get out, push it, play in transition, much like BYU wants to play. Defensively, we'll bend a little but not break, and throw a lot of different looks at you with our coverages from a ball screen standpoint. And we've mixed in some zone and a little bit of press on occasion as well. So we'll need our best effort tomorrow night. I've been just unbelievably impressed with BYU watching on film, their efficiency offensively, their unselfishness on the offensive end of the floor. And, I think all you have to do is look at what Gonzaga has been able to do in the NCAA tournament and the 3 competitive games that BYU had with the Zags. This is a very good basketball team, and a team that not only could have gone to the NCAA tournament, but could have advanced to the NCAA tournament.
Both of these programs, speaking of BYU and the Creighton Blue Jays, have kind of made a name for themselves getting to the NCAA tournament. Creighton playing in the Big East, BYU now in the West Coast Conference. But the reality is it's the NIT. And while it's not the NCAA tournament, we've had this interesting conversation of, hey, embrace what's in front of you. Have you had a difficult time with your team getting them to kind of get over the disappointment and embrace what is in front of them right now?
We knew going into New York City, when we lost at Providence and at Xavier, and we lost a close game to Marquette at home right before that, a couple games before that, before beating St. John. So, we were under the understanding when we went to New York City, if we don't win this tournament, it's likely an NIT bid for us. So it wasn't like I'm at St. Bonaventure and I have to deal with the disappointment of Selection Sunday and not hearing your name called.
Right.
We anticipated that it wasn't going to be called. So you have a little bit more time to prepare yourself for what's next, and I think it's a breath of fresh air when your name's called in the NAT selection show, because you get to keep playing basketball. And for our two seniors, that's an invaluable experience. They've essentially got 3 senior days, which not everybody gets. And, some of our freshmen have stepped up and played good basketball. So anytime this time of the year, especially with us only losing 2 guys off this team going into next season, the additional practices, the additional game prep, being able to play teams this time of year that you're not familiar with, which is what you have to do in the NCAA tournament, that experience is incredible, and hopefully something that we can look back on a year from now, and we're talking about playing in the NCAA tournament instead of the NIT.
Well, speaking of the experience, and you referenced this a moment ago, the fact that how great it's been in the NIT for your team to have those 2 home games. Now you head out on the road, and I believe the stat I saw was that you guys were 4-8 in true road games this season. What do you expect from your team heading out on the road and playing in a place that we can assume is going to be a very loud Marriott Center?
Well, I'm hoping BYU fans will just stay home and watch it on ESPN. Brand facility game and Roxy Bernstein, so I think it'll be a great broadcast. So I don't think there's any need to show up. I just watch it at home. But it's going to be a great environment, and it'll be fun for our guys. And basketball is all about. And we play in some big time environments in the Big East, like BYU does in their conference. So it'll be a challenge, but one we're looking forward to.
Greg McDermott, the head basketball coach of the Creighton Blue Jays, with us on BYU Sports Nation, previewing tomorrow's NIT quarterfinal. That game on ESPN, 9 Eastern, 7 Mountain Time, as he just mentioned. Roxy Bernstein and Fran Fraschilla on the call for ESPN. You talked about your team having kind of this freewheeling, let's shoot threes, let's have fun, bend but don't break defense. And you're right. I'm thinking the whole time you're talking about that, I'm thinking this is BYU basketball. So if there's a key tomorrow between 2 similar teams, where is this game going to swing or hinge, do you think?
Well, I think part of it comes down to who shoots the ball well. I mean, when BYU shoots the ball well from the three-point line, because they have so many weapons, and what you have to do to try to stop those guys, that allows Collinsworth to do what he does. And I will say this is the first time I've been coaching for 27 years that I've played 2 non-conference games against a team that isn't from out of our region, and played against the same player 6 years apart. Kyle actually played at Creighton 6 years ago, Doug's freshman year, before he went on his mission. And the other day when I was looking through the stat sheet, I said, I think we played against Kyle before. So it's been incredible. And we're going to have to defend tomorrow night. And I think the key for us is taking care of the basketball. BYU does such a terrific job of turning turnovers, not only into layups, but rhythm 3-point shots in transition. And that's easier said than done, but it's going to have to be a key to the game for us.
That's interesting, Kyle. He just never goes away, Coach. He keeps coming back and coming back.
And if I'm a BYU fan, I wouldn't want him to go away. He's what he does is impressive, and his leadership, and how not many guys impact the game at as many levels as he does. To be able to score the basketball and rebound it and find his teammates, and he throws passes that aren't there until the ball gets there, and amazingly it ends up and it's open. He reads situations incredibly well, and that'll be a heck of a challenge for some of our young guys.
Coach, we appreciate the time, and I'll do my best from one parent to another to make sure that these epic Provo parties are kept under wraps.
I'm counting on you.
Okay. Thanks, Coach. We'll see you tomorrow.
You bet. Take care.
What was your favorite moment of the sports weekend is our Twitter question today, as Greg McDermott, the head basketball coach of the Creighton Blue Jays, just wraps up his interview with us on the Deseret First Credit Union hotline.